This video is mainly for myself, so that one day in the future I can look back and remind myself of the possibility of such transformations that can happen. A few months ago, I probably would not even be seen with a book unless I was forced to read it, or if it was strictly fiction and top of the line. So for me, that would mean like Harry Potter or something. But I'm just going to give a quick account on all the books and audiobooks I have read or listened to and fully understood. Some to the point where I replayed them back quite a few times in order to completely understand them. And I'm sure I'm going to miss a few, but this was roughly over the course of about 1 to 2 months. So it's February 6th now. I think I started doing this around the last week of December. And how I stumbled across this, I explained this in my other video, but it's just something I stumbled across, and I felt there's a lot of potential here for not only making money but doing it in a really fun way. So let's get started. And this may be a good reading list for any of you guys who are interested. So I read The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. I'm currently reading Security Analysis. I have it right here. I'm not really far at all. In fact, it's quite boring at a lot of points. It's about, I would say, 700 pages. Intelligent Investor was about 400, 500. What else? I listened to 3 audiobooks by Peter Lynch, and another great investor. And a couple of them I listened to a few more times to get a hang of them. They were Beating the Street, One Up on Wall Street, and this unknown book that most people don't know he wrote, Investing for Beginners or something like that. On top of that, I've listened to the full audio of Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits. It was good, but I forgot a lot of it, so I will listen to that again or read it again. On top of that, and this is all on my free time, just like waiting in line to get food or walking to class, or in my free time and during my winter break off. I've read I listened to the Warren Buffett Way audiobook. I listened to Think and Grow Rich, which was like a 14-hour thing. That one was very tough and dull, and I tried to rewind each time I zoned out, but I am probably going to listen to it again because I feel like the retention rate's like lower than 50% on that one. I'm currently listening to an audiobook called How to Gain Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, which is a great thing. This is one of those audiobooks that just jump off the page and I soak in every word and I know every word. If you were to quiz me now, I would know everything in that book. Anything I missed though, because there's still times when you zone out or you're distracted when you're listening to an audiobook rather than reading it. I rewind it and I make sure I get it. It's a great book. It's not really related to investing, but really it's really given me some really good insight on stuff. If any of you are having problems making friends or anything like that, read the book. And I mean, all the crap advice I've watched on YouTube does not pale in comparison in a lot of ways. Although there is a lot of good stuff on YouTube as well that have helped me. I know I'm missing quite a few others. Oh yes, Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki has released about 20 books, most of them very long, and some not so useful, but most of them are fairly good, and some are gold. So I listened to the audiobooks Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Oh yes, and another book called Investing Wisdom, which compiles all the mentalities from all the great investors and their sayings and quotes and other stuff. And I currently have on hold 2 books that I will be getting shortly. One is The Essays of Warren Buffett, which I will be trying to read. And on top of that, there's another book which I can't. Oh yes, Moody's Manual for Industrial Securities for the last 50 years. And this is all under the course of like 1 or 2 months. And I've also just finished the audiobook called the Tao of Warren Buffett, which was quite astonishing because I had watched so many interviews of Warren Buffett online that I had already sort of known like 70 to 80% of all the sayings, and there's like 300, 400 tenets in the book. On top of that, I have let me just pull it up on my iTouch, and you guys can do this. It's not as hard as it thinks. A lot of it's actually very useful. I got halfway through Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I'm also downloading documentaries and videos and big hour-long presentations and listening to them. I've watched quite a few investing teaching courses through the free iTunes U library, and I plan on using the internet to eventually go through a few courses in investing and other financial activities, because apparently big business schools like Wharton give all their courses, or a lot of their courses, not all of them, online for free. So on top of that, the book, Book of Investing Wisdom, Increasing Your Financial IQ by Robert Kiyosaki. I read that. I listened to that. Warren Buffett's Management Ways, great book. But one of the best I've listened to, not the best, there's a lot of them are really good. But one good one is Warren Buffett and the Art of Stock Arbitrage, which is completely different field, but it was an interesting read. Now here's the big doozy. After all this knowledge in this short amount of time, am I some investing genius? Not at all, not even close. Like, I've probably just slightly dug into the ditch. Like, I've just hit the tip of the iceberg, which is, I don't know, very interesting in a lot of ways. And I really feel like unless I keep this up, and at times it's getting much harder now because it's not like so simple and interesting. But I feel like with what I've got now, I think I can make a reasonable amount through investing, and I understand how things work. Oh yes, another audiobook I read was the little book on the little common sense book on investing. Let me pull it up. Oh yes, and I also read Common Stocks and Uncommon Profits by Philip Fisher, which I'll be reading, watching, or listening to again. The Richest Man in Babylon. That was really long, and I'll be listening to that again. However, I think this will help me in the long run, but I have a long way to go, and I'm kind of scared here because, this book, Security Analysis, it's no longer just fun, interesting, simple, how to make a lot of money and very simple stuff. This is complicated stuff written in freaking old English. But this is a crazy thing that's going on. I have a full course load, which means four solid courses for my college semester, which is a full-time student. And on top of that, I'm sitting in on 3 classes, participating in them and doing the homeworks. And these 3 classes are business classes, and they are accounting to financial statement analysis and investments. And some of them are investments. a lot of it's starting to get pretty darn tough. I don't know if I can keep it up, but it's amazing what has gone on in such a short time, and it all sort of piles into my theory that a lot of people are disillusioned into thinking that they need a certain amount of intelligence they don't have to excel in their field, when in truth the reality is you have so much free time and your interest is just not there. That's what I think is so much more important. I've seen it in piano. I took piano lessons and competed on the state level for 11, 12, 13 years. And I've seen it in many other fields. A deep interest in whatever you're doing is what a lot of people don't have. And they'll try and lie to themselves and say, oh yes, I'm pre-med, I'm all for it. And they don't spend more than an hour a day doing anything for it. Because if you love something, you can find the time. I've done all this with a full course load while taking on 3 courses, and I still have time to watch Doctor Who episodes. Not a lot, but maybe one every other night. And I've gone to the gym every other day for like sometimes up to 1 to 2 hours. I've had plenty of free time. Sometimes it gets very stressful and I don't have free time like today. But that's all I gotta say. And I hope I can keep this up. It pains me, but unfortunately I don't have the burning passion that Warren Buffett has. And it all goes back to my theory that it's all about how interested you are in the subject. We all already have the requisite IQ to get through all this. As far as security analysis is concerned and securities, it's all just addition, subtraction, that's it. So if you can do that, you've sort of got it done. It's the concepts are a lot more complicated than that at times, but yeah, I think it's all, sometimes it's a lot down to just how interested you are in the subject. And I'm a little scared. I feel like it's tapering down now. Maybe I bit off more than I can chew with this thick book. But regardless, if I lose interest in all this, whatever, I don't think I'll drop it for good. I'm still going to, pick up the random audiobook now and then. And even if this doesn't make me any money or anything, man oh man, the amount of productiveness done with no cost to myself. A lot, like, I'm sitting or waiting in line half the time anyways. Might as well listen to audiobook. It's so easy. Anyhow, that's all I gotta say. As always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe.